China's staggering growth over the past decades has been partly achieved on the backs of the country's migrant workers. For years, millions of people have left their homes in underdeveloped areas, usually heading east to China's major cities in search of work. But workers are now starting to buck the trend, heading westbound toward home, with some swapping backbreaking labor for starting up their own businesses. China View went to meet some of these workers trading east for west in search of their future.
Wang Diyi and his wife look like any other happy couple, pottering together in their kitchen. It's a far cry from 6 years ago, when the pair spent months apart as Wang travelled the length and breadth of China on the lookout for work. One of China's millions of migrant workers, he'd spend months working in major cities, forced to pay high living costs, often on low wages. Fed up, Wang came home to his village of Changshan in Guizhou in China's southwest. The couple started their own business, a farm stay, where tourists can sample home-cooked fish in their sour soup, one of the region's famous dishes. And they're doing well.
A great deal of tourists visit our farm, especially in summer. Our gross income can reach 20,000 to 30,000 yuan, which is far more than what I was earning as a migrant worker in other places. I also feel more free and relaxed now.
Traditionally, China's migrant workers gravitate to the east, to major cities like Shanghai, Zhejiang and Guangdong. They spend most of the year chasing work, head home for Spring Festival before heading back in search of their next job. But more and more are shunning these major cities in search of opportunities back in their home provinces in the country's west. It's left China's major economic hubs on the eastern coast facing severe labour shortages. According to a survey this month by the Guangzhou Human Resource Market Service Centre, the city currently has a shortfall of more than 123,000 workers. 80% of companies surveyed said they're worried about production capacity over the coming months. The trend for workers to swap east for west is being blamed on high living expenses in coastal cities, combined with a lack of wage growth and benefits like medical care. That's compared to increasing work opportunities and wages in the west, and the strong desire among migrant workers to reunite with their family. Here in Hangzhou, the capital of the eastern province of Zhejiang, migrant workers have converged on an employment fair. Despite coming directly from the train station, many are now reluctant to sign up for the positions on offer. Hu Xiaomin is a migrant worker from East China's Anhui province. He says most young people from his hometown used to flock to major eastern cities. This year, many have decided to search for work closer to home.
The rent on my house rose from 300 to 800 yuan, but I only make 3,000 to 4,000 yuan a month. My wage gets eaten up by living costs. The city is developing quickly, but what about the ordinary person like me? Where am I to go if my salary never catches up with housing prices? The growth of salaries has been slower than expected. The minimum wage provided by some companies only increases by several hundred yuan per year, which is dwarfed by soaring living expenses. It means less and less migrant workers are willing to work here.
Back in Guizhou, it's a different story. Once a feeder region for the major coastal cities of the east, more migrant workers are deciding to stay. It's estimated over 30,000 returned this year in search of work. Here at this job fair in the city of Kali, employers are on the hunt for new recruits. Jiang Shitong is a machinery company lured by the local government to invest in the area. Last year the company built its own factory, and today they're on the lookout for 36 new recruits. In just 2 hours, 16 applicants have put their hands up to join the firm.
I've seen a significant reverse in migration this year. People used to fly to the east, but as you see, I've got many interviews to do today.
Altogether, more than 150 companies are offering more than 5,000 jobs in real estate, catering, manufacturing, retail and technical industries, with monthly salaries ranging from 1,500 to 3,000 yuan. The income gap between the east and the west is also shrinking. The east-west difference in the average wage at an electronics company shrunk from 1,400 yuan in 2008 to 400 yuan today.
The basic monthly salary for an ordinary employee is 1,600 yuan, which includes both board and lodging. For those living in the city, is 2,500 yuan per month.
Like Wang, Jiang Wei Tao has swapped the life of a migrant worker for that of a local entrepreneur. After the tough grind of travelling from province to province for 8 years, he too decided to come back. He rallied over 50 local families, and together they've started a kiwi fruit farm.
My hometown is developing fast. I gained knowledge and many skills working in other provinces, so I've got the ability to help myself and other villages work for ourselves.
It's the same story in the eastern province of Jiangxi. 38-year-old Tan Jianrong works as a forklift operator, earning more than 3,000 yuan a month.
I think there are still opportunities at home. I don't want to go back to places like Shanghai. I used to do various kinds of work in Guangdong, but all of my family are here.
It's the East-West issue which has many of China's companies reassessing traditional recruitment methods. Experts say improving welfare packages for migrant workers is one way to reverse the trend.